All right, Halloween is just a few short days away, and Southern Oregon is no stranger to its fair share of spooky and potentially haunted places, including the Del Rio Vineyard in Gold Hill. NBC5's Maximus Osborne learned more about the property's dark history in part 1 of this 3-part series.
Weird things happen all the time.
If these floors could talk, they'd have a lot to say.
The longer I'm here, the more obvious it is to me that there is definitely something paranormal happening.
I will never be here alone.
Very spooky. Not a place I like to be late at night.
That's right, you guys. We are here in Gold Hill, Oregon at the Del Rio Vineyards. And a little history facts for you guys. It actually wasn't always a vineyard. It actually used to be a hotel. And that's where a lot of the history really comes from, which we'll learn about in just a minute here.
We continue to learn more and more every single time we do it. So each year, we're not telling the same story.
The Del Rio Vineyard hosts its annual Hattie Haunted Flight Nights. Courtney Thomas, who's worked at the vineyard for 13 years, says it's a time where guests can come, tour, and learn about the paranormal aspects and history of the property while enjoying some wine and some snacks.
It's not just about the haunt, it's about the history of this house, which is really cool because every time you're in this house, you feel the presence of the history.
There are 3 main areas of the property which were owned by a man named J.B. White, who fought in the Rogue River Wars in the 1850s. There's the old hotel building, now home to the Del Rio tasting room and offices. Then there's a house next door where White's stepdaughter, Hattie Heyman, died in. Then there's the cemetery.
The employees at Del Rio Vineyard believe that Hattie Heyman is the spirit that still lingers the property. In fact, just down the road from the vineyard is where we are at the Rock Point Cemetery, which is where Hattie Heyman was buried, and they believe that she died of mysterious circumstances.
In her obituaries, nothing is listed about how she dies. What we have found interesting is that Hattie dies on June 16th, 1891, and she and Ben are credited with having no children at all.
Hillary Wallace, another employee at Del Rio, explains that after her death, Hattie's husband, Benjamin Heyman, remarries to a woman named Rose and has 4 children. But his oldest was born 2 weeks before Hattie dies. One of the employees' leading theories is that Benjamin had an extramarital affair with Rose.
Hattie was dying of some sort of illness in one room, and Rose was giving birth in another. And if I were Hattie, that'd make me pretty mad.
But with such a deep history and countless experiences, the employees say they suspect there could be more than one entity haunting the property.
My bag has been scattered down the hallway upstairs. Drawers have been open, wine bottles have been broken.
The employees are hungry for answers, and while I'm no paranormal expert, we're getting help from people who are. In the next part of the Haunted Vineyard, we'll learn more about what it takes to be a ghost hunter. In Gold Hill, Maximus Osborne, NBC5 News.
Spooky stuff, Maximus. Thank you. You can catch part 2 of the Haunted Vineyard tomorrow, only on NBC5.